There was always going to be hype about Footscray and Richmond standing alone. Port Melbourne are a powerful club that recruited heavily. Box Hill, the reigning premiers. Geelong has been a powerhouse. But have a look and of course Williamstown went out very hard standalone for the first time since 2000 this year. But just have a look who's snuck up into the top four very quietly and very accomplished it's been as well. The Werribee Tigers sit fourth on the table, and in no small part due to a real rich vein of form shown by Michael Sodomaco, who's been at the club for a while but enjoying, I think we would agree, his best football. Good evening, Michael.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Very good, thanks. Is that a fair assessment that maybe in your fourth or fifth year, leadership and, I guess, maturity has come together and seen you become one of the best players in the comp?
I wouldn't go that far, and certainly wouldn't go as far as best player in the comp. But
one off.
Well, I suppose you.
There's a lot, Mick.
I was going to say it's a long list by the sound of it. I was going to say, yeah, but fourth year in the comp now, so you start to get a better feel for it. Bit of luck with injuries. I've strung a few games together, touch wood. So it comes just with exposure to that level. You start to pick it up a little bit more, and once you do that, playing footy, you've been doing it since you're 6 or 7 years old. You can start to do it a bit more consistently out there, which is good.
Michael, it's Stoney, mate. Welcome to the program, mate. It's one of the reasons I thought it was a really good story about persistence in the game. And how many games have you played now? Around about
30 odd, I think, senior games. Yeah.
Okay, so you've obviously done a bit of hard yards. You've spent some time in development and obviously consistency. And probably one of the things this year I wanted to ask you about is the leadership group. You've won over about 8 people. Why is there 8 people in the Werribee Football Club leadership group, and how do you see yourself in that?
Yeah, it's a pretty common question. It is a massive leadership group, certainly more than usual and probably more than what's recommended. But I guess I'm, and so is John Lamont, the coach, very much a horses for courses man in terms of what's best for our situation. So we thought rather than ignoring the fact that there are a lot of really influential people in the team, and it is a really even team, so there wasn't that one standout leader. Rather than ignoring that and then undermining the power of the leadership group, if people start observing that there's leaders outside the group and things like that, and it's all there for a bit of show, we thought we'll chuck them all in, and then hopefully that gives them a bit of authority and gives us a bit of authority, I suppose, to really dictate how we want to take this club forward, because I think it's a fantastic opportunity we're being given at the moment in terms of a fair bit of player turnover. So we've got a new group coming in, a lot of very young players that are really committed, and so we can hopefully just define a culture that we want to take us forward for the next 5, 10 seasons.
Now that's one way of making a club, a group of individuals into a club and into a team to be feared. The other way is to buy a team bus and sort of partridge family your way around the countryside and bond that way. It's working though, isn't it?
Yeah, that is true. That is actually one of Werribee's great initiatives. Look after us Geelong boys. There's about 6 or 7 of us that travel up from Geelong, and some are coming from Torquay and Drysdale and places like that. So it's a fair trip to training every night. So we jump on the team bus and share a few laughs and whatnot, which is good. Makes a bland old drive down the highway something to at least enjoy.
Is there singing? Buses have a life of their own, and we just want a little insight.
There's been no singing yet. We do have Jai Bolton on board, who's a pretty confident sort of character, as Stoney would, I'm sure, let you know. And he likes to get a bit of footage up. There's a DVD player in the bus, so he likes to get a bit of footage up. I think his favourite would be the NAB Cup when he was rolling around for Collingwood, leading possession getter or something that game. He likes to tell us, so he likes to get that footage up and keep us all entertained with a few anecdotes.
Now, you can go on these bus stories for a long time. We'll digress. You captained the club this year in the Casey and Geelong game, I think that was. Did you win both those games?
We did, yeah. So, a bit of a running joke is the boys that have been captain that save the blokes that win for finals time. We'll let the other boys do it during the year.
Yeah.
But obviously, great opportunity. Really enjoyed it.
Now, Finey's. We've got to go very quickly. One more thing. I was tasked about Logies. Why were you working at the Logies this year, Michael?
One of the guys associated with the footy club, Damien Franklin, is our player welfare manager, owns a photo booth, so he got the contract there to work there. So I just thought I'd jump along. What other opportunity am I going to get to work at the Logies? I thought I'd jump on board.
Have you got any stories that didn't make the papers?
Actually, none at all.
In a photo booth, by the way, which was a great place for a story.
Yeah, well, sure it would be, but I didn't stay for the after party, so I did the boring sort of red carpet stuff and then jetted out of there. So not a good man to talk to about that.
Save the after party for what could be a famous season for the Tigers. You're fourth on
Exactly
the ladder,
right.
and there's everything to play for.
Absolutely.
It's so even. So all the best for the rest of the season, and make Staney regret the day he ever turned his back on the mighty Werribee Tigers.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.